Ever since it first appeared in Jurassic World, the Mosasaurus has quickly become the next big thing in the fandom. There was the T-Rex, the Raptors, the Spinosaurus, and now the Mosasaur, the crown jewels of the Jurassic Kingdom and legacy. Jurassic World Rebirth is set to once again feature the big swimming lizard, but in a brand new, never-before-seen way. This image of the Mosasaur, coming from an article from USA Today, shows a considerably more realistic approach to this ancient mega predator that some think was the most dominant hunter in the oceans of all time. Comparing it to the Jurassic World Mosasaur, the core body and look is overall kind of the same. But since this animal is less mutated than the Masrani creation, it is much more in line with how we believe this animal actually looked like in real life. But wait a second, what the heck happened to the Jurassic World Mosasaur? It was never shown to be dead, and last we checked, it would still be alive in this universe, even with the now known modern Earth not being suitable for the dinosaurs on land, according to the lore. Beyond temperature fluctuations, the ocean is practically the same now as it was during the time of the ancient reptiles. And the Mosasaur is just that, an ancient aquatic reptile, not a dinosaur. So the conditions that led to the downfall of the dominion of the dinosaurs on land likely wouldn't apply to the Mosasaur. Meaning this swimming beast could very well still be lurking in the deep, dark depths of the ocean. And I'm going to delve deep into the life of this Mosasaur, from the beginning till Rebirth's point in the timeline. And I'll let you know why you're probably not going to see the Masrani Mosasaur in this upcoming movie. Residents, welcome to Dangerville. A lot of you dinosaur and Jurassic fans aren't subscribed, so if you want, more teeth and claws, why don't you chomp that subscribe button already? To start off, let's go all the way back to the 1980s. While the Masrani Mosasaur is older to us as moviegoers and fans of the Jurassic films, the individual we see in Rebirth is actually way older, like a good 20 years older, give or take. Thanks to new information and lore, which give this video a like if you love lore, we now know that InGen developed a clone Mosasaur way before we got the direwolves. I mean the Jurassic World Mosasaur. Now here is where some gaps in the lore appear. According to Dr. Wu, Masrani Dr. Wu I may add, aquatic ancient animals were only able to be cloned and brought back to life thanks to a new technology capable of analyzing iron within the fossils of these ancient animals. The reality of this is obviously in question, but this was the only way Wu thought this could happen since there's no Mosasaur DNA being frozen in time in some tree sap. How InGen was able to clone the animal 2 decades earlier without Wu having any idea of it will remain a mystery for now. And for 15 years, the Masrani Mosasaur, which earned the name Mosasaurus maximus, was kept on the island in man-made lagoons, until the Indominus Rex took the operation down, barely managing to stay alive thanks to feeding on unsuspecting dinosaurs who came too close to the lagoon, or any kids that were left on the island. The Mosasaur remained here, trapped, until set free upon the oceans of the world when mercenaries came back for the Indominus Rex's DNA. It was probably Goji Center's workers trying to get DNA for the Indominus 3.765 or something. Speaking of the Goji Center team, my good friends over there, I'm too stoked not to share a little tease with you all on this new thing we're working on. Long story short, we're working together to bring to life some of the most infamous Jurassic creatures ever thought of. They never made it to any of the movies, but they're going to come to life on our channels. Stay tuned to Dangerville and Goji Center for more. After the Mosasaur was set free into the world, finding it became like trying to find a needle not in a haystack, but in a hayfield, practically impossible. But sightings tell us that the animal has remained in the Pacific Ocean, repeatedly swimming as far up as Alaska, to Hawaii, Japan, and even New Zealand. Surviving by staying out of too much trouble, only attacking humans on occasions when it grew desperate for more food, or when curiosity got the best of things. Imagine this, the ocean is already freaky enough without a 60+ foot super predator, so imagine it with the mutated Mosasaur, the crazy size crocodilian armor and all of that. You could expect the Pacific excursion industries were hit very hard. Living in a world where sea monsters were real would be a lot to handle, and a lot of people would become terrified of the oceans again. But by avoiding too much human interaction, and by learning the new law of the ocean, the Mosasaur could easily survive till it died of old age, which could be decades more. However, there's one huge difference from the oceans of old: the amount of food in them. Practically all of the super ocean animals alive during the Mosasaurus' heyday are now extinct. One of the few that still remained were sharks, and the Mosasaur loves shark meat. Especially great whites, since their size allows them to be healthy meals, and they aren't far off from the prehistoric sharks that real-life Mosasaurs once devoured. Add in how its human handlers on the island routinely fed its sharks, and just like domesticated animals, like your pets, or contained wild animals, the Mosa would have grown to prefer shark meat above all else. It probably would have been a little picky at first, but there are less sharks than ever in the oceans, so the Mosasaur would have to constantly stay on the move, learning the migrational patterns of the great whites, making sure that it was always nearest to the most sharks as possible. But even then, when you're practically kaiju-sized, you need more calories to travel all these thousands of miles. Like, a lot more. Thankfully, the ocean does now have a new batch of super animals that could provide weeks' worth of calories in one meal: whales. While there's evidence to support that the Mosasaur from the movies didn't always attack whales, it would only be a matter of time before the Mosasaur would swim up on a floating whale carcass and grow a taste for whale flesh. Using real animals as comparison, we can assume the Mosasaur wouldn't attack whales as large as itself or even bigger, instead choosing to focus on whales that are around the size of great whites. In the Pacific Ocean, pilot whales would be a great meal for the Mosasaur. These whales are around 20 feet or 7 meters long, and they typically move in large groups. They'd be perfect meals for a hungry aquatic reptile. The lore even says that the Mosasaur would team up with orcapods on occasion to hunt these whales, foreshadowing the Spinosaurus and Mosa in Rebirth, no doubt. Now, the reason why they showed a scene where the Mosasaur wasn't attacking larger whales, these humpbacks, is a mystery. But for my own headcanon, I'm gonna say that somewhere deep in the primitive thoughts of this animal, it sees the other creatures that are around its size, and it makes it somehow feel comfortable. Almost like they're friends, or it sees itself in them, or as close to that as a Mosasaur could possibly ever comprehend. But we have to remember that this thing is still a mutated reptile, and if the humpbacks ever had infants around, Mama Whale better be on her guard. And over time, the Mosasaur would learn its natural place in the oceans and would instinctively follow the migrational routes of its prey source, traveling the Pacific, learning as it went. But here's why the Mosasaurus Maximus will likely never see the Elder from InGen's secret island. The new island is in the Atlantic Ocean, so they're separated by an entire continent. And there's no reason why the Masrani Mosasaurus couldn't swim here, but why would it? The largest and most ocean wildlife resides in the Pacific, and swimming to new waters could lead to the Mosasaur's untimely death. Real animals hardly take this trip, and the Mosasaur would only do this if it was following a migrational batch of whales all the way there without being distracted or located by humans. So no, don't expect any sort of Mosasaur versus Mosasaur battles anytime soon. At least not in the movies, maybe on YouTube's all I'm gonna say. So out there somewhere, right now, in the Pacific, the Mosasaurus resides. In the movies now, everyone, don't be getting all freaked out on me thinking there's a human death trap out there right now. I know how you Meg fans are. Jokes aside, I think it's fascinating how the Masrani Mosasaurus is more of the mutant than the one in Rebirth, that comes from an island where mutant dinosaurs were apparently the goal. And that almost makes it more special, as it proves that a mutant reptile can be accepted by the fans. Don't lie now, most of y'all had no idea this wasn't how a real Mosasaurus looked when you first watched Jurassic World. And now that you know that this thing's a hybrid mutant, do you still like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. On that note, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this Jurassic video as much as I did making it. I can't wait to talk about this new movie, and I hope you guys stick around to Dangerville. As always, this has been Jacob, and I'll see you in the next one.